Doja Cat, get this fucking bitch. Take this bitch to fucking hell. This bitch can stop fucking acting like she all that. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. You guys are all having a beautiful fucking day. Tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all fucking something. So y'all know fucking horror, right? The video I previously reacted to. They made a copyright claim to take down my fucking video, my fucking Halloween special video where I dress as fucking Velma, and them fuckers fucking made a claim to delete my fucking videos. Bitch, the fuck you think you are deleting my shit that I put fucking effort and time in? Like the fuck? Giving you like more viewers to go see your fucking videos, so I'm not fucking stealing your shit. I literally gave credit to you in my fucking previous video and in my fucking, and in my like, yeah, I did give fucking credit to you in my fucking video that you guys fucking copyrighted. So fuck you, horror shorts party. Fuck you. You're not reacting to fucking horror shorts fucking party. Fuck you, okay? Fuck you. I'm sorry, I had to let that out, because bitch, I spent like a fucking hour recording that fucking video. Because it was like a Halloween special. Like, oh my fucking god, I spent so much fucking time editing it, preparing it, adding my funny clips and shit. Fuck you, horror shorts party. But anyways, today is Friday. We react to scary animated horror stories. You guys already know I love scary animated stories. Like, they're my favorite. I've been watching them since like I was like fucking 10 or not 10. Actually,
the fat ass faggot doesn't even know.
15. Anyways, enough with the ranting shit. Today we're gonna be reacting to, in this beautiful, sunny, glorious, we are gonna be reacting to True Ouija board horror stories animated by, and I'ma fucking give you credit. Do not copyright my fucking video. Shit. Why don't you shit? Alright, we're clear. We're done. We're done with the shit. I'm fucking terrified of like a Ouija board, bitch. Like, who the fuck wants to play that shit? Guys, I don't know if you guys heard stories about fucking Ouija boards, but bitch, I am never gonna fucking play that shit ever in my fucking life. Never ever in my fucking life. You're fucking insane if you think I'm gonna fucking bring Satan to my fucking house. No, you're fucking insane. No demons, no Satan. Not me, baby girl, baby boy, baby they, baby them, who the fuck your gender is, whatever the fuck you are. No. Okay, we're not playing that shit, okay? Anyways, enough with the fucking ranting. Let's get into the video. Oh shit, this music is intense. I'm nervous already. I'm like shit.
I never believed in the supernatural. I wanted to, but never felt afraid of it.
I believe
Years spent scaring friends and watching horror movies that even my parents refused to watch. And each time I felt nothing. Not scared, just excited. If you were to ask any of my friends, they would tell you that I was the most fearless person they knew. I would make jokes about how I could summon the devil himself and he would be afraid of me. However, that all changed really quickly. My teacher had just reminded our class that there was a school excursion coming up. This was a Friday afternoon. That particular week, I became very interested in communicating with the dead and demon summoning rituals. This reminder from my teacher made me think of a clever prank I could play on my friend.
Are we talking about Doja Cat? Demons? Doja Cat, get this fucking bitch. Take this bitch to fucking hell. This bitch can stop fucking acting like she all that. Bitch, you're not all that for fucking summoning Satan. The fuck you think this shit is? And demons, bitch, no. Summon the fucking money tree, bitch. Get money. The fuck you summoning demons for, bitch? That's what's gonna fucking help you, bitch. Money. All that fucking time trying to summon a fucking demon from hell. Bitch, alright, hoe, whatever the fuck your gender is, whatever the fuck you are. Whoa, oh, actually, it's a fucking girl. I'm gonna get canceled, y'all. I mean, I just misgendered this bitch. Like, that's how fucking agitated you're getting me, bitch. I misgendered you. Anyways, continue this video.
Friends in order to scare them. I decided to purchase a Ouija board. I made a plan to bring it to the hotel we were all staying at in order to scare them, or at the very least, annoy them. I ended up ordering one right there, in class, before we left for the day.
Bitch.
I found one pretty quickly, actually. An old wooden Ouija board for no more than 15 pounds. I told my friends and laughed at their reactions. Most of them were creeped out and got annoyed, but in a funny sort of way. They started joking around, saying how they would throw me out of the hotel with the Ouija board if I actually did bring one. However, one of my friends looked horrified as they told me just how bad of an idea it was. I told him that I didn't actually believe in ghosts and that this wouldn't actually work. Even if it did, I couldn't care less. I'm fearless, right? Luckily, the Ouija board would arrive in the mail on Saturday. I wasn't concerned about my parents saying anything about the Ouija board. They also don't believe in this stuff and will just label it as a useless wooden board.
Oh, no wonder why.
I was so excited when I woke up on Saturday and the Ouija board had already come in the mail. I hugged it close, excited for all the fun I was going to have messing with my friends on our trip, and ran to the kitchen. I sat at the table and I opened it carefully. Inside was the slightly old wooden board with its metal pointer, and to my surprise, there was a strange instruction guide full of text. I have 2 younger sisters, and just then they both walked through the kitchen. I had told them the night before about my plans for the Ouija board and that it would arrive that day. They both weren't too fond of the Ouija board being in the house and thought my idea was going too far.
Yeah,
especially the youngest. Dumb bitch. She made sure to let me know that she wouldn't even touch the thing. They glanced over at me to see what I was doing, and once they saw the board, their faces turned to fright and they ran out of the room.
Shit, I would too.
As I read through the instructions, I had a strange feeling. Something didn't feel quite right. It creeped me out just a bit. There were so many rules, so many warnings and dangers filled the pages. I shook off the feeling of unease. At the time, I didn't realize just how important those rules were. Immediately after reading through the guide, I decided to play with the board. When beginning the session, I did all that I was supposed to. I followed all the rules written in the guide and stayed polite and calm when asking the spirits questions. But no matter how much I tried, nothing happened. I would try, wait, and then get nothing.
You're gonna fucking die soon.
And again, and still no response. Eventually, I got bored and ended it by saying goodbye. I left the board on the counter and continued on with my day. That evening, my mom and my 2 siblings went to the cinema, leaving me home alone. I didn't care. Being alone wasn't a big deal because I wasn't scared of anything. In fact, staying at home alone was one of my favorite things at the time. I was sitting in the living room just scrolling on my phone. That was until I heard a loud crash and bang. It made me jump. Did that come from the kitchen? I went to check what had happened. I was cautious and all, but still not scared. I assumed something had fallen on the floor. I looked in the kitchen to see what had fallen over. That's when it happened. We had a plastic rubbish bin in the corner of our kitchen, and just as I came around the corner, a plastic orange juice container shot out of the rubbish bin and exploded. It left the remnants of what was still inside of it as it sat in the rubbish bin all over. Brown.
Call the priest. Call Jesus. Call heaven. Bitch, honey, we moving to Hawaii. We moving to Alaska. We moving to California, bitch. I'm leaving. If I see an orange juice blow up mid-air after I played a Ouija, baby, you best believe I'm out this state. I'm out this country. I'm out the South. Like Harriet Tubman, bitch. I'm out the South.
You think Harriet Tubman was walking around with a fucking nice shiny fucking dress on with a fucking crown on her head when she was taking slaves to freedom?
All right, bitch. All right, let's get it, bitch.
Brown, dripping, rotted orange juice stains scattered everywhere.
Rotting?
And I mean everywhere. The walls, floor, tiles, everything was covered in this gross
bitch,
brown
good luck
liquid.
cleaning that shit.
I dismissed it as a coincidence. There was a reasonable explanation for this, right?
How is that a coincidence?
Something or other about how the juice breaks down and creates gas within the container, causing it to explode.
Boom.
Hadn't I seen something like that on
it's
TV
not
once?
fucking acidic.
I convinced myself that had to be it.
It doesn't
I
have fucking
managed to
gas
clean
in
up
it.
most of it and decided that I would just wait for my mom to come back home to help me with the rest of it. At the time, my mom laughed about it and remarked about what powerful juice that was, but now I don't laugh about it. This was just the beginning, and what came next will haunt me forever.
Oh my
That
God.
night I had such horrid nightmares, I can't begin to explain them. I remember
Bitch,
lots of
don't jump
mumbled
scare me like that,
noises
you dumb
and blood.
bitch.
Lots
You might not be
of
scared, but I'm
blood,
scared, bitch.
blurred visions of violence, and then darkness. This wasn't normal. I barely experienced nightmares, and when I do, they're usually something dumb
Yeah,
or
it is a
stupid.
fucking normal.
That night I didn't sleep well at all, but again, I didn't think too much of it. Sunday was when I began packing for the trip. I placed the Ouija board in my suitcase and left the suitcase in front of my bed so that I wouldn't forget it the next day. As I was getting ready for bed, something seemed odd. You know, how you just get that gut feeling sometimes? That something is really wrong? Again, I blew it off thinking it was just anxiety about tomorrow's big trip. But boy was I wrong. The night was cold. I could hear the wind blowing outside my window as I drifted to sleep and slipped into the abyss of my mind. My dreams were again loud and frustrating. Just like the night before, there was blood. This time there were screams. The whole dream was foggy and unidentifiable, but it felt like something was spawning. A corruption.
I have a dirty mind.
I woke up breathing heavily, as if I had been holding my breath. I was sweating. Not just a little bit. No, I was drenched in sweat. I was barely awake and already my skin was crawling as I stared at the ceiling, touching my breath.
Girl. You
I
chose
closed my eyes
Ouija
and did
board.
my best to calm down, knowing that it was over. The nightmare was done. I lifted my head and looked around my room. It was dark and silent, apart from the fan that was always running in my room. I reached for my phone and checked the time. 2:50 a.m. That made my skin crawl again. It was almost 3 a.m., and even though I never believed in the 3 a.m. haunting hour crap, something didn't feel right. The air felt thick, and I felt like something was watching me. I sat up, and to my horror, there was something there in the dark with me. For a second, I couldn't move. I was trying to understand what I was looking at. I blinked, and there, on top of my big suitcase, sat the figure of a girl. I could see her so perfectly. I could see her hair and her feet. She was staring at me. I barely had time to process this before I realized there was someone else in the room. Right beside her stood an outline of a tall man. He stood very still, but I knew he was there. I reacted by grabbing my blankets and throwing them over my head.
Yeah, I would too.
I sat there under the bed covers and tried to remain completely still. My heart hurt from just how hard it was beating. Was I having a heart attack? What was this feeling? It was at that moment that I realized I was feeling pure fear. The kind of fear I have never felt before in my entire life. This can't be right. I must still be in my nightmare. I began counting my fingers. There were 10. I was awake. My mind raced. I knew whatever that was not real. I have to be hallucinating or something. But how do I know for sure? I thought of grabbing my phone and using that as a light, but if those beings were real, it would be more terrifying to see their true forms under such dim light. I decided to count to 3, and on 3 I would run to the door and turn on the lights. 1, 2. I was stuck on 2. My mind hurt. Then finally, 3. I threw the blankets off my head and jumped out of the bed. As soon as my feet hit the ground, I started to run toward my light switch. I winced at the pain from my feet as the pins and needles shot through my legs. I was fully awake. My legs were not. As I ran, even though I felt like I was going fast, what I saw will forever be ingrained in my mind. It was the eerie figure of the girl sitting perfectly still on my suitcase, with her head slightly tilted in my direction, and the tall man beside her. He just stared blankly at my bed. I made it to the lights and turned them on. Sure enough, there was nothing there. I felt relieved, but not entirely. Whatever that was, it terrified the crap out of me. I did not sleep that night. I didn't want to wake up to those things that night or ever again. I had the lights on for the rest of the night. I tried to distract myself by doing random things around my room, but something in me told me, destroy that Ouija board. The thought echoed in my mind throughout the night. Eventually, I couldn't take it any longer. I was losing my battle to stay awake. Nothing had happened for a while. It had to be a fluke. I decided to lie down and try to relax. I shut down my phone and lay there in my bed, perfectly still. Suddenly, I began to hear the loudest cracking noises. It made me jump. I thought it was my phone since something similar had happened in the past, where my phone's screen began to crack all of a sudden. I looked up and grabbed my phone. It was fine. The noise was gone. I looked around the room. I looked at my mirror. It wasn't my mirror. I checked my window. Still nothing. However, when I replayed that sound in my mind, I realized that it sounded more like the sound you often hear in a movie when someone breaks a bone. I wasn't watching movies. No one was. Everyone in the house was asleep, except me. That freaked me out once again, so I did not move from my bed. My whole body was shaking. I tried to watch TikTok to distract myself. I stayed like that for another hour or so. Then after gaining some
real quick thing, follow my fucking TikTok. Here, follow it. No. If you don't fucking follow it, you're a bitch. And not a bad bitch, you're a fucking bitch. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Kind of bravery, I decided to get back up and try to work out. Maybe that would distract me.
Bitch, I need to fucking work
The time was 4:30 a.m.
Goddamn.
As I was getting into comfy clothes, I heard the loudest sound of a train. The sound was so loud it made my head shake. I live in the countryside where there are no trains whatsoever. That pushed me over the edge. I grabbed everything and jumped back into my bed. Although I feel pretty dumb saying this, I began to pray. I prayed hard and wished that all of this would be over.
Too.
It was nearly 5 a.m. I needed to get up.
Bitch,
I wanted to surprise my mom with a gift before going to school. It was her birthday. But I was scared out of my mind and didn't want to be alone. I had to wake up my little sister and use a lie. I told her, I need your help to decorate the living room for Mom's birthday. It worked. I felt much better being with someone, even if it was my little sister. It wasn't long before my mom woke up and came downstairs. I sang her the happy birthday song and I gave her her present. As we sat in the living room together, I couldn't hold in my fear. I told my mom what happened. I tried my best to make it sound as lighthearted as I could so that she wouldn't be scared. When I was done telling her what happened, my mom had a horrified look on her face.
I'd probably be your fucking mom too, bitch. I'd be terrified.
I kind of laughed it off by saying something like, I haven't slept since 2:50 a.m. Guess the spirits really did want to talk with me after all. But that didn't make me feel better. My mother suggested getting rid of the board. I was way ahead of her. I got a plastic bag, put the Ouija board and all of its parts inside of it, and told her to throw it away as far as possible from us. I couldn't even bring myself to watch her walk out the door with it. I must say, though, the moment it was out of my room, I felt relief, as if a thick air that once made it hard to breathe had been cleared out. I wanted to take a shower before I left, but I got so scared at the thought of being alone in the shower, I broke down. I began crying. My mom hugged me tight and calmed me down. I eventually calmed down, but I ended up not showering. I just sat there cuddling with my mom right up to the moment I needed to leave for my school trip. The trip was fairly uneventful in comparison to the weekend before. My friends were surprised that I didn't bring the Ouija board. I just told them that my parents didn't want me to bring the board and they believed me. The best part? I slept just fine on the trip. No nightmares, no weird happenings, no creepy girls in the middle of the night. I felt fine and no longer felt scared of being alone. It wasn't until I came back home that things changed. When I walked into my room, something felt off again. I couldn't put my finger on it. It was unnerving being in there. I expected to see the Ouija board like some scene from a horror movie where the haunted object just reappears as if by magic, but that never happened. I do have severe PTSD now. I can't sleep in complete darkness, so there's always a light on in my room. I'm so terrified of being in my room alone that my parents had to move my youngest sister into my bedroom to give me peace of mind. Just 2 days ago, I brought up the Ouija board to my sister, and she told me something that made me sick. She said that ever since that day, she would sometimes have strange dreams. They were always the same. She's sitting in an empty room with a giant clock in front of her, and at exactly 2:50 a.m., the tall, shadowy figure of a man and a girl sitting on the ground would suddenly appear and stare at her, as if they were looking directly into her soul.
That's it, bitches. Okay, next video. This is by One C Entertainment. It's called Footsteps in My House. No, bitch. True horror story animated, and I'm terrified because it's fucking true. I'm fucking scared. Like, somebody actually went through this shit. Let's start the video.
When I was 16 years old, I had this experience with my then girlfriend, Samantha. Samantha lived in a neighboring county and didn't drive, so we rarely saw each other during the school week for any extended period of time, especially alone. We agreed to skip school on Monday to spend time together. In that it was Monday, I knew my father and stepmother would be at work, so we'd have the house to ourselves to play video games and just curl up on the couch to watch TV together with no distractions. The house I lived in was located in a suburban-style neighborhood, surrounded by rural countryside and woods. It was a 2-story home with 3 beds upstairs and 1 downstairs, and the entire kitchen area was covered in wood flooring. More on that later. The house also had a security system with sensors on all entry doors and a motion sensor pointed down toward the end of the main hallway beyond the foyer that led out into the kitchen. Samantha and I were upstairs looking through my brother's extensive baseball card collection and playing silly games like Never Have I Ever. When we both heard someone walking around downstairs. Samantha heard it first, then I paused and I heard it too. We both froze.
Oh,
Samantha asked, "Could one of your parents be home?" We sat in complete silence in my room, listening through the open bedroom door. We could hear footsteps in the kitchen, back and forth along the hardwood floor, and the sound of a paper bag ruffling, like the ones used at some grocery stores. The footsteps would progress slowly for several seconds, then stop. A paper bag would ruffle, then proceed for several more seconds, and the pantry door could be heard opening with its all too familiar squeak that was unmistakable to me, having lived there. Samantha whispered, "Are they putting groceries away?" I said, "It's got to be my stepmom. She's the only one who does the grocery shopping." My stepmom was far less forgiving than my dad, and being that I was skipping school with a girl in my room alone, I knew I'd be in deep shit if we got caught. Immediately, I told Samantha we needed to crawl out of my bedroom window onto the roof and hide until she left. We sat on the roof facing the street, waiting for nearly 45 minutes, just watching the driveway for my stepmom to leave, but she never did. And Samantha was getting impatient as it was unbearably hot on the black shingled roof. Finally, I told her to stay put on the roof and keep a lookout a bit longer while I went back inside to confront my stepmom. I told Samantha I'll just tell her I was sick this morning and decided to stay home from school. I had no idea how I would get Samantha out of there, but keep in mind, I wasn't prepared for this, to say the least. As I walked into the kitchen, I called out to my stepmom, but no one replied. My parents' room was also downstairs, so I walked through the room, but no one was there. I proceeded to check every room in the house, but to my surprise, the house was completely empty. I even checked the garage, but it was empty. All of the entry doors were closed and locked, and that's when the realization hit me. All of the entry doors beep when they open, including the door leading out to the garage. And neither Samantha nor I heard any doors open, including the garage door, which could be easily heard from my bedroom, as it was directly below. Lastly, I opened the pantry, hoping to cast doubt on this revelation, but I couldn't find a single new item that wasn't in there the night before. A cold chill ran down my spine. I ran upstairs and brought Samantha down from the roof, asking her if she saw anyone come or go. She saw no one. I never believed in ghosts before this day, and honestly, I wish I had a rational explanation for the whole experience. If my girlfriend hadn't been there to witness it with me, then I would probably chalk it all up to my mind playing tricks on me. I never actually saw a ghost, so I can't say for sure what it was, but I can tell you what we heard was real and convincing, to the point that my girlfriend and I never doubted for a second at that moment that it was anything other than a person in my house putting groceries away.
This is fucking terrifying. These videos are fucking scary. They're better than the Horror Shorts Party. Fuck you, Horror Shorts Party. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. And if you guys want more fucking videos like this, leave a fucking comment below. If you don't want me to fucking make more videos like this, leave a fucking comment below. Leave your fucking opinion. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, guys.